Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
And we're live. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm thinking of a podcast mode. My apologies. Rob Volkoff, songwriter and founder of solo project Life Renewed. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
So mind me while I'm just for anyone who watches this now, present and future, that I'm going to be from here and checking out the comments. So if anyone has questions or anything you want to say or comments, I'm going to be trying to make sure that I'm paying attention to what you're saying as well and engaging in real time. Like I said, once again, thank you so much. Want to give you I've been trying to shout you out with all the media releases that I've been doing this past week with the single, and I'll continue to do that. I love what you're doing, and I've been part of a couple of them in the past. So I just want to give you your props real quick before you get started. Feel free to ask me anything and everything.
Okay. We'll start off with my standard hard question here.
Okay.
Not musically, but personally, what do you want to leave as your legacy?
I think the biggest thing that I try to think about when it comes to legacy is I've been doing music since 2008 and playing live since 2010, and being a musician that has tried to, promote book shows, things like that. My 20s was a lot of trial and error, and I made a lot of mistakes with musicians and relationships with bands and things like that. So I think moving forward, I really want to make the effort to, even if I'm not my best, even if I still make mistakes, that at least I want to be known most of all for trying the best I can to be the best person I can be to others and lift everybody up, be a high tide that raises all ships. I know just in order for me to win, everyone else does not have to lose, so they can win and I can win. And I want to try to project that moving forward. Probably wasn't something that I was in my past, but that's at least from this day moving forward, that's my intention moving forward. So that's the legacy I want to leave.
If you could pick one song to describe you as a person, not one of your own, what song would that be?
Easy. NF Mansion. That's pretty easy. I think I don't know if anybody would be surprised by that, but yeah, I would consider as a rap artist. He comes from a lot of mental health issues, went through trauma, and a lot of his music does correlate to me. But I think I would definitely say NF Mention would be me, very close. So.
If you could pick your own 3-day festival, first day is female fronted. Second day is regional. Third day is national. Who are your top 5?
Top 5 for each.
Yeah.
First day, Ginger. Evanescence, Ginger, Lacuna. Okay, I'm gonna have to go through them, but I'll give you an order from top to bottom. But I have to kind of start from the top down. So I think I would put a co-headliner, Lacuna Coil, Evanescence, then Ginger, then I'd like to put Forever May Fall because I really do dig what they're doing as the opener. And then I'll probably put there's a lot of good bands, but I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up easy. And I hope this counts because it's kind of they have 2 vocalists, but we'll start with Forever May Fall, Dying Oath, and then put Ginger, and then a co-headliner with Evanescence and Lacuna Coil.
Okay.
So that would day 1. Regional. That's interesting. So in no particular order, they'll just have to figure it out amongst themselves. I'm a big fan of Hey Mindy. Hopefully you heard the shout out. Absolutely love Dying Oath. I have my bracelet over there. I have to go get it. So with that being said, that's a really hard one. I'm Dying Arms from Maryland. I love Orion. There's so many accounts. I don't think I could really put a name on many. Geez. I mean, if they're national, does that mean they're signed or big signed? Because like there's some smaller bands that are like newly signed or they're smaller, but they're not like huge.
Either way.
Okay, so if I were to really do that, I think I would put a band called Bloodlines from Texas. They're on Spacetown, but they're really small. And they just got signed this year, or late last year or something like that. So Bloodlines, Alaka in Dying Arms, Anchor, and Red Handed Denial, which is another female fronted band, but you know, Laura Babick is sick, so Laura Babick, so that would be honestly top 5 would be really hard because I listen to a lot, and think I think for the national one, like if it would have to be my favorites, I'm gonna put Korn. I would put Love and Death on there because that would be a dream. Because it's Brian Welch's solo project.
Yeah.
I would go ahead and put Sleep Token. Korn, Love and Death, Sleep Token, Phineas, Demon Hunter. That would be like if I really to say these are the bands I have to see or want to see. Those would be it.
So what's on your bucket list?
That's pretty broad. I mean, I would love to get back on stage with another project I'm working on. I can't say many details because it's not this one. I think I dream of, I mean, bucket list for, I mean, I guess that's pretty broad. I wouldn't know what bucket list, like in regards to what.
Like, do you want to go to Grand Canyon or, you know, like that?
I mean, okay, so ultimately the ultimate thing I would say is I'd get to do, I think for me, I don't think, to be honest, if I say a bucket list, it's going to be, that's going to always change. But I think the one thing I've always wanted to do, like, I don't think I'll ever be a touring musician that gets to do this for a career, which is fine. I tried for 10 years and it didn't work, but I honestly would want to do one successful tour of some degree, whether it be like, not just like a local and I'm playing for 20 people. It would be great to do like, maybe I'm teching for my favorite band or something where I'm on the road of the whole country, 2 to 4 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks. Or even I'm somehow lucky to open up for like my friends in Cultist Black got to do Static X, Fear Factory, and Dope. Where that would be like the dream, like get to do one tour like that that's sold out front to back. To land something like that would be the dream. Like honestly, like if I got to be in their place for that festival, like let me play bass or carry gear or something, I would be very happy. And that's still like something I'm holding on to, even if I don't get to do it full time. Like I think I can be comfortable and happy saying that, you know, I'll just put out music whenever I can and release stuff. But doing that would be like I'm at finally be at peace with everything I've sacrificed to do this. So sorry if I seem like distracted. I'm trying to figure out how to share from here so I can like make sure that I'm sharing. So forgive me if I'm not here. So I just want to make sure that, you know, people don't think that I'm like bored or anything like that. I just want to make sure that I'm not in comments and that I'm sharing this to everyone. And I think I figured it out. Yay me.
All right, so here's a fun one that I recently just added. If you were stuck in an elevator with one cartoon character for 6 hours, who would it be?
Yogi Bear.
Why?
He was my favorite when I was a kid. And be like I want to pick a neck basket. He would want to pick the basket for 6 hours, and I would just be excited. Hopefully, I never saw signs of aggression where he would eat a human being. If he did, then I'm going to reconsider my choice.
Okay. So what cartoon character would you not want to be stuck in an elevator for 6 hours with?
Tasmanian Devil.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the one for sure.
Like the grown-up version or the baby version?
All versions. Just all of them. Like, I'll pass on all of it. I don't want any of it.
I mean, the baby version, I mean, I would think you could just pick up and throw up into see if they can get you out.
No, baby. No. I'm not taking that chance that I throw it and then it comes back and starts tearing my face off. No, thank you. I'm not going to mess with the Tasmanian Devil. I'm going to love it from a distance.
Well, there's not that much of a distance.
Exactly. That's just why I don't want him in the elevator. That's the point.
Like 4 squares. That's all you got. As a concert goer, where are you? Are you front of the stage, side stage, left of the stage, or in the back, or the pit?
It really depends on what band, because I mean, I played festivals. Well, okay, I played one. Who am I lying to? I've had show small room festivals, but an actual festival. I played Blue Ridge 2021, and there was many different bands I would want to be involved. Like, if you're saying Knocked Loose, I want to be in the pit for a second and then jump out and be on the outskirts of a pit watching the chaos. I'd want to, get my release during mistakes like Fractures, and then just be like, I'm out and watch how everybody lose their minds. If it was Korn, I want to see them on a really big stage and be maybe about 100, 150 feet, depending on the pit. I saw Korn at Epicenter, which is in North Carolina, which is sort of like, it was supposed to be the new thing from Carolina Rebellion. And I was maybe 500 feet from the stage. I swear, like a football field at least, or more. And I just remember they came in with the intro riff to Here to Stay, and I had friends right next to me say, "Move!" And I just got knocked 10 feet back, and I just saw it just opened up. The minute that, by the time the band dropped into this whole song, there's just a big 300-foot circle pit. So I'm like, I may not be safe, but I would probably 500 feet just to watch the circle pit. But also the big sound, it would just fill my ears either side, even being that far. So someone like Korn, I want to be like that. Same thing for Slipknot. Saw them in 2022. That was great. I guess just the example is it depends on what band. If it's a band I've never seen for the first time, I'm definitely going to want to sit back and make sure I get the best sound to just absorb it. If it's if I'm Canal Club in Richmond, Virginia, which is a 350 downstairs, if it's one of my favorite bands, or Phineas or something, I'm going to be up there really close to the stage. So it really depends on the band.
Last Supper scenario. Who's your 12 people?
I don't think I even have 12 people. I'm going to keep a couple unnamed to keep them safe, or to not even keep them safe, but I don't think, some people don't want to be put out there like that. I'm going to go ahead and say I want Melanie, Mike Stover, Kevin Wilkin, my friend Nick West, John Oliver, Jacob Ward, Zachariah Sean Hayes. Just to keep the name safe, SG. If you're watching this, hey. You gonna be there? Even though I think you would be sitting next to me as Judas. I'm just kidding.
Really?
I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I have to make it spicy. No, I'm just kidding. No, you'd be there. So we're at 9. Another friend of mine, LW, keeping them safe. Again, they don't like being, they're private people, so I don't want to put their names up there like that. So 10, Josiah Sargent, 11. I guess, yeah, 11 with 12 disciples, right? 12. So I'm thinking one more. Dakota Brown, 12. I'm not going to remember that if you ask me back.
What would you be serving?
I would be serving a multi-ethnic cultural feast for everyone. It would be a little bit of some like Jamaican, a little bit Spanish. I would have some different cuisines like that. Jamaican, Spanish, some African food, some like Ethiopian food. Yeah, pretty much. I think it would be just those 3. Yeah, Ethiopian, Jamaican, Hispanic, Spanish food. So, take your pick.
So if you don't mind, I'm actually going to play your newest song.
Oh, no, don't do it. I'm just kidding. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm joking.
Does a single sentence burst through my world and left a crater of boards and bootstrap legends, Christian cliches peeling from the fractured drywall like cheap paint, leprous chunks lying like styrofoam tombstones spilling out of a dumpster the day after Halloween. My particle board paradigm for existing dissolved back into the sawdust of the well-meaning humanism it came from. Purpose and meaning crumbled like sandcastles in a tide and left me bare and exposed. I didn't thank God for the pain, for the embarrassment of losing what I'd built, for when I shivered through the nights, uncertain if I'd ever have a home here again. I didn't thank God when the vultures circled like competing theologies, or when the fear nested where the kitchen used to be and started gnawing on whatever I had left of my beliefs. I didn't thank God when all of myself seemed to swirl around a cosmic shower drain, a black hole that piped to an oblivion I didn't want to fathom. I didn't thank God until the sun came out a few days later, like a proverb or a promise, until I realized what was left. Every hour I spent crying and writhing and gnashing and aching, groaning for resolution or shelter or something new to be built, some hope to manifest in the debris. Every moment of it was on solid ground beneath the rubble of everything I once understood. The concrete slab it all stood upon remained certain and unbroken, not a perfect understanding of free will, not a complete knowledge of the scriptures of the suffering of man, but Christ the cornerstone, Christ and Christ crucified, simple and unapologetic, and refusing the yoke of my reason and logic. Christ and Christ alone, in love, in spirit, in blood, beneath all of my efforts and grasping and failings, holding me up even when everything I built had crumbled.
That was pretty awesome.
Thank you. What are your thoughts on it? What do you think for yourself?
I really like it. The female vocals sounds familiar, but I can't pinpoint who that was.
So there are no female vocals on this. So the first half is my good friend Chris Bornstorff, who is a spoken word poet out of Michigan. I encourage anybody who sees this past, present, future to check him out. He is one of my closest friends. You can find his stuff on Bandcamp, or you can message him on Instagram because he writes poetry and got books. So I really encourage y'all to check him out. He's got stuff on iTunes and Spotify as well. And he does some performances here and there if you're in the Michigan area. And then the middle, that little interlude is it's actually like a special effect, and it's Jacob Porter, the singer. He's actually doing like ooze with it, which is very unique. To me, it's very cathartic to hear him. Yeah, so that's him harmonizing. Ooh, I'm not going to do it to embarrass him. So that's Jacob Porter, who sings the outro, the rock section. That's him. He's just a very underrated songwriter vocalist, like seriously underrated. It was a challenge for me to mix the song myself, so I do his voice justice. But he's in a band called State of Illusion out of South Carolina. There's a unique story. We can get into that later if you wanted to. But he's actually doing a 2-week tour with Cold to do an anniversary of the Spider, 20-year anniversary of the Spider record. So like a 2-week run.
It's been 20 years already. Holy shit.
Yeah, that album, you know what I'm talking about. So that Cold album, they're doing a 2-week tour, opening up for that tour. So I encourage anybody to go check them out. I think it's like 9/5 to 9/17, something like that. So September, the first half of September, please go check out everybody I've said on their Spotify, YouTube, and all that. Give them some love. Let them know that you heard the Life Renewed single, because they really made this song a very unique and special thing. Like, it would just be a music. It wouldn't be special like it is without them. So.
So there was no female vocals at all. It was just how it was mixed.
Mm-hmm. So what section are you referring to when it comes to the female vocals?
Like towards the end, it sounded.
No, he's layered. He's got the ability to, like, he's got range. So I have him mixed where it's like, ooh, and then he goes like, I'm not a vocalist. I would have to warm up to even emulate something what he's doing, but he's just layered, very well stacked. I wanted to go ahead.
No, that's very interesting. I thought it was a female vocalist at one point. I didn't know it was layered.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about something like this project is, like, I've been in bands and I've recorded music for many years. And in this case, I get to experiment on a production side because all the Life Renewed stuff has been mixed and mastered by me, my studio, Renewing Music Studios. So I get to really experiment on, like, mixing and promoting and things of that nature. And I just really wanted, it was kind of a challenge because Chris, he kind of just gives you one raw, honest take. He makes it feel like you're in the room with him when he shouts and yells his spoken word that he has from his heart. And this was something that, like, he kind of, like, the message and the meaning that I gave him, he kind of just wrote something down on the spot and just went for it. So, but then Jacob's like, here's all this. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so many layers. But no, he's got range. If you want to hear an example of that, check out my favorite song, which is, I think, a masterpiece, Starlight from State of Illusion. Absolutely, really, it's a criminal how underrated, how unknown State of Illusion is, because they've been around since 2006. That's Jacob's band. He started it from high school, and they put out 2 full records. So I really hope that maybe there's some steam with him playing with Cold. But yeah, Starlight, State of Illusion, you'll hear just how immaculate, because he writes everything himself, pretty much everything himself, as a guitarist, vocalist, bassist, everything, and he performs everything, just about. So it's absolutely amazing that he does that. It's humbling, and I still think it's crazy that he thinks this song is good, because I'm like, your music is good. I'm just, But no, it's really just him. And again, please check out Chris Bornstone's poetry. I'll keep saying it over and over because I support them and I want my friends to be on this and collab, but I also want to support their ministry and their mission as a band and stuff like that. So Chris Bornstone, spoken word poetry, and Jacob Porter of State of Illusion. Check them out.
Well, speaking of collab,
who we got?
All right, speaking of collab, who are your top 5 people that you would want to collab with?
Any level?
Any level.
Brian Head Welch from Korn / Love and Death. And this is just anything. I was songwriting or vocals with both. I mean, either or. Brian Clark, Demon Hunter, Sean McCullough, Phineas. I'm just gonna put it out there. Jacob Porter. Maybe I'm a little biased on that one, but if we somehow wrote a song together that we did together, because like obviously I filled in for State of Illusion for Blue Ridge 2021, which is absolutely a miracle that I got to do it and blessed to do it. But I know how he writes, or kind of how he writes, but I'm playing the music and then I perform, so we have a chemistry. I think a little bit of a chemistry. I'd like to make sure that they get their credit. So honestly, I would really hope that we could do something. It would be absolutely amazing. Don't think I'm good enough, but he would be someone I want to collab. So it would be 4. I think the 5th one. That's a hard one. I don't know. I'll have to come back to the 5th one on that later. So.
All right, I do this every episode. It's about that time. I'm gonna let you flip it on me. You can ask me anything.
Should I go spicy take or should I be moderate? Because I can get heated with conversation.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, so I guess one of the first thing is, what is your goal with Concert Junkies? I got you.
Not just as a brand, but I would like to throw my own concert one day.
You own venue?
Not my own venue, just rent out a venue one day and have an all-day concert.
That would be awesome. Okay, so how many more questions get to ask, or is there a time limit? I mean,
no, there's no time limit.
Cool deal. I hope some people come in and comment and join in the fun. So I got a really spicy take. If you could maybe, you know what? I'm going to have fun with it. And you could say, no, you don't want to answer that. Is there ever been an artist that has rejected you to do this? To sponsor Junkies?
Oh, several.
You can say no. Several. Okay. You don't have to ask, but okay. Now, you don't have to name names, but I mean, I figured we get some spicy takes and get somebody to maybe want to interject. Are there artists that you've had on here that you wish you didn't have?
I think one. That's about it.
One.
But it didn't. It didn't. What do you call it? It didn't make YouTube.
Oh, okay. I just have to say I'm that artist. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. No, I mean, I have lots of questions, but I'm also a deep thinker. So I feel like this platform, while I enjoy talking to you, and we talk sometimes privately anyway, so we know each other. I have to be careful, not just to say bleh randomly, because I'm one that kind of has mental verbal diarrhea kind of thing. It just kind of comes out. But I also want to keep in mind that I am a very opinionated person. I'm very passionate. I'm very outspoken, I guess, and it can be very forward. So I have to be careful not to say things that could get myself in trouble or you. And just, I mean, it's
don't
not
have
that.
To worry about. Per se, you don't have to worry about me. If I'm not going to answer it, I'll tell you I'm not answering it.
Well, the big thing also is nobody watching this is gonna know me just from this interview. I'm here to, talk to you first and foremost, hang out with you, and be part of the Cool Kid Club on Concert Junkies. So again, thank you. But also, like anyone, I'm really out here to really just connect and make relationships with people.
Yeah.
So if you like anything I say or my opinions or the music, ideally, here's the thing, like, I don't want to be the guy being the drum to check out my band. I've done that for 15 years. And I'm going to be honest, like, I love what I do. And I'm going to promote it because it's something I'm passionate about. But I'd rather you get to know me and like me. Because if you like me, then you like my music, or at least appreciate what I do. If you don't like me, then you probably won't like my music. And most of all, like, I don't think you'll give it a fair shake as a consumer if you just don't. You instantly like, oh, that guy is kind of an a-hole, and then you just listen to it, and you're already going to you're already coming with a mindset of like, oh, it's trash. It's kind of like you hear different. I mean, the Needle Drop. I'm just going to say it. The Needle Drop. He's a guy named Anthony Fantano, and he's one of those people that I have watched on his YouTube, and I feel like he says things to be contrarian, and it's one of those things that's like, if someone says that has a platform like yourself that, oh, this band is bad, or this music's bad, or this song sucks, you're already kind of preconditioning people that listen to this music or any kind of music to already be like, oh, he didn't really like it, maybe I won't like it. It's influencer culture, and that's something that I want to kind of talk about, how like any platform I get is just talk about, like, it's very important that we cultivate a culture and community of positivity, and at least come with an open conversation with an open mind. Like, we can talk, but you doesn't mean you will ever like receive anything I say. We have a little bit of open mind to be like, maybe he's got a good point. And I can be the same way, where it's like, I can get some perspective from you. And that'll give people that are listeners a chance to kind of like go into it. It's, you're prepping your, I listened to a podcast with a producer named Daniel Bronstein, who works with Spirit Box, and he said that you kind of have to like teach and cultivate your fans for the music you create. Bands that like create one style of genre for themselves, and then they want to shift because you get tired of doing the same thing over and over. You want to change, you evolve, you get new tastes. You're in a different area in your life. You start to alienate your fans. Whereas if you're an artist that's sort of like, this is what we like. It could be all the way from Garbage. The band Garbage, for the record, Garbage, all the way to Tool or to Korn. But if you like bring that this is kind of what we're into, and this is how we sort of present our music, that we evolve with it, then the fans will evolve with you. And fans being followers, I don't really want to, I know people have a weird feeling about fans, the term fans. I don't want to say fans personally, but it's like the most commonplace one. But I just, one of those things that I try to be careful about when I'm on platforms like this, to be able to like, honestly, now more than ever, I feel like the power of the people when it comes to music is more important, because like back in the 90s, there could be bands that you barely heard of that played their hometown. They might have done a couple shows where they sold out, and then a rep from a label signs them, and they're on a bus and they're touring. Love you too, Jacob. Jacob Porter in the house from State of Illusion. I shouted y'all earlier again, State of Illusion, Jacob Porter, if anyone who sees this past, present, future. So with that being said, I really do feel like what happens is like those bands that just like, they get the push, the big label push, the big, like, they didn't get to grow with their fans in a way. And so so when they think, oh, Atlantic Records, that's a big band, and you could see the culture with like, oh, Atlantic Record, they're just known for putting out good bands, and then you're just going to go follow it just because it's on a big label. Now it's more like, if the bands like reaction channels, I love reaction channels because it's not just some written article on the internet. It's a human being behind a camera that's reacting to it and be like, I really like it or don't like it, or wow, this is shocking, or wow, I want more of this. And you feel like the people have the say on what makes it big, because like these days, like Spirit Box with Holy Roller, Lorna Shore with To the Hellfire, Slaughter to Prevail with Demolisher. These are all songs that have got a big social media boom because of channels like reaction channels and people on TikTok that are like really making this thing viral. And it's only viral because people are making it viral, not so much labels. I mean, labels kind of push it a little bit, but it's really, labels are starting to finally come to the table slowly and surely to recognize that bands like Falling Reverse that get to drop songs and get that impact, and they're going to rock radio, they're getting #1, or bands like Bad Omens with Just Pretend. The fans, when they get the chance to latch onto the band, they become a fan of the music and they push it now. It's no longer as much as the label pushing the band, it is the fans. So I really want to emphasize how platforms like this, if it wasn't for you, Rob, and it wasn't for people like Mike Stover, Stoverload Podcast, Melanie Nix's podcast, Metal Empire Radio, and many, many more out there. I don't know all of them, and I've been kind of out of the game for a while. If it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't have a platform to talk about this stuff. And I think it's important that the fans really are the driving force, because here's the thing, this would be useless for me to be doing this if it wasn't for you giving me an audience and a platform to share the music and the message and at least my perspective. The fans, the friends, the followers, whatever way you want to put it, they are the reason why this exists. Because the minute I take my music that I make on a computer by myself in my house, the minute I put it on Spotify and iTunes and all that, it's no longer mine, it's y'all's. And it's for everyone out there to love and hate, or even be neutral or like mixed feelings on it. Like, it's all of y'all's to like, but it's y'all's choice to do what you want with it. So if you like it, thank you. If you don't, thank you. If you hate it, thank you. Whatever it is, it's because really it's a driving force to make things like Concert Junkies and all these different platforms I said, and all the bands, and even my friends like Chris Bernstorff and State of Illusion, making them be able to do what they do is people. We are just lucky enough that someone wants to hear our music, that somebody likes our music. So I try to make an emphasis on that in every opportunity I'm on here, because I don't think people emphasize that enough, where it's like, I make music as I play a guitar, play bass, do vocals, produce music for me. I release it and put it out there to the world for others. And I have to and a lot of people don't recognize the difference. Like, when people say, oh, we don't make music for people, we make music for ourselves, it's like, yeah, you become a musician for yourself. But if you want, the minute you put $1 to getting this out there, because these days, like, it takes $1. You can even upload a song to $1 on different DSPs. So $1, you put $1 to your song that you made in your studio, and you're paying thousands of dollars to record it. Let's be honest, guitars, basses, computers, interfaces. You pay $1 to put it online, so it's on Spotify and YouTube and every other place out there. You're paying for exposure. You're paying for someone else to hear you. And so you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for others. So that needs to be a strong distinction with people. And I really want people to really think about that, because here's the thing. The reason why I think about that is because, I mean, I'll be honest right now, like, I only have like 11, 12 followers. I could have 0. I literally could have 0 right now, monthly listeners on my Spotify. But the fact that it's 11 or 12 means 11 or 12 people, for whatever reason, thank you. If you're out there and you see this and you're one of those people, are the reason why it exists and people like it. Also, hi to Just Havoc, right? Just Havoc X. Just making sure I'm following along. So, but yeah, that I'm done with my rant.
So back to the question. So back to the question that you asked me.
Any more questions?
Yeah. Do you have any more?
I guess one of the things I wonder is, like, this might be a spicy take. You don't have to answer it.
Okay.
How do you feel about the push and the support and the promotion the artists that you work with do for you? Like, how do you feel like do you feel like it's helpful? Do you feel like, you want more? I mean, again, you don't have to answer, but I figure this would be a good hot take.
some are good at really promoting things. Some per se don't. Like, I'll be honest, I do have some videos that are very low because they didn't share it either. But I mean, it is what it is. But you know, it is what it is. It's one of those situations that things could be better, or you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I definitely have to keep in mind that, like, you know, it's the reason I ask that is because I'm always curious when it comes to like media outlets, how this works. You know, we have something I need to talk to you about, and later we can talk about later, but
Yeah.
kind of on this subject, so remind me. But
Okay.
I guess one of the things that concerns me about you know, I spend a lot of time listening to podcasts, watching YouTube reaction channels, and I try to look at the culture. I think the only place where I'm not really at is Discord. And I know that I'm missing out. I'm late to the party. And I mean, I see TikTok, but TikTok is overwhelming. It's so massive. So I get it, but it's also a lot. I think one of the things I think about is like platforms like yours. You've been doing this for a long time, and I've seen a bunch of your videos. I've followed, and I know some great people like Dying Oath, Forever May Fall, Sepsis, and many more people that I've watched on this channel with you. And you know, they love and support you. And I just think that like it's one of those things that I think a lot of people are still behind on the new age. You know, I tell people that anything you thought about promoting your band 2020 back, leave it there. Like throw it out, throw the book out. Like don't follow the stuff.
It's not the same like it used to be.
And that's a great thing. And people have to embrace that because it's harder in the sense of like there's more accessibility to media. There's more conversations being had. There's definitely the power of TikTok if you do it right. There's a lot of things that it's overwhelming for an artist. Like, you know, there's conversations like Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park had comments about like, you know, being a musician and then you have to be a content creator. There's different conversations like that. And then people that feel like they have to make money and you don't make money doing this stuff, creating music and then doing all the social media stuff. But the reality is, it's like this just the opportunity to be able to have the power in your hands with a phone, to be able to put yourself out there. That's the best thing we could have. And I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things that I wish we could implement from the old days, like the old fashioned way of like Edsel Dope. If anyone sees this past, present, future, check out Edsel Dope's podcast with X-Man with Doc Coyle. And he talks about his grind and what he was doing to get himself in front of labels and what he did. And to be honest, that sort of initiative, like if we have a kind of like hungry artist, starving musician, hunger to do this, it would be something that would really help and benefit artists these days.
Okay, so like this was the best. I'm not one to name drop, but this is the best conversation I've had. Fieldy from Korn and Mr. Q. I had them on. They're from Stillwell. I had them on about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember. It's a freaking business. You have to learn how to make the T-shirt. Not physically make the T-shirt, but how to print the T-shirt. You need to know every aspect. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn every aspect of the business. Even on my end, I'm still learning as I'm going. I've been doing this for 5 years now. Yeah, I could be better at promotion. Yeah, I could be better at booking. I mean, not per se booking, but not double book myself or do 2 in one day and then by the next day my mind's blown. But I'm saying in general, like I do mistakes. I'm only human. But in the industry, you have to learn. Like I'm saying, if I'm in a band, I want to learn the drum parts too. I want to learn not per se the vocals because I can't. You don't want to hear me. You don't want to hear me sing because I'm tone deaf like a motherfucker, and monotone on top of that. But I'm saying you have to learn. If you're in a band, what happens if something happens to Jimmy? You have to step up as a drummer plus vocalist. It's been done. You put the mic right there. You do what you do. So I mean, this is not outsider looking in, but I'm just saying, in business aspect of everything, you have to learn the booking side of it. You have to look at the promotion side of it. You're gonna fuck up so many fucking times, but you're gonna appreciate the win. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more into. People think it's more into of me just turning on my computer, putting a microphone in there, and having a conversation with somebody that's 20 million miles away to around the corner. Like, oh, you have to get ready for, okay, well, yeah, I have to think all my questions, and if I'm gonna be freaking narwhal and go search to see if you're what you did on the second grade. Not that I'm never gonna do that, guys. I love narwhal, but you're not gonna get that here. I'm not doing that research. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna ask your mom where things are from back in the day.
It's interesting. I think, again, I like to think that people are just getting used to, I'm seeing here quickly, just Havoc X. Brian, I Prevail, went through some stuff, and Dylan had to sing. It happens. I mean, it's a good point. I think here's the thing, like, not everybody, I get where not everybody wants to be all roles, but the more that that just means you're adding more tools to your toolbox. And we get it. I think a lot of us, when we were kids, we see, the generation that remembers MTV and Headbangers Ball, and we see all that, or we go back and we look at the Metallica DVD or Pantera, or maybe my generation is like My Chemical Romance and As Lay Dying DVDs. And just seeing the inspiration of how these bands grind it out, and you just kind of wish you can just kind of do it like that. And that's, again, those were those years, and it's good to learn from that, and then just respect it as a piece of history of the music world, and just realize that moving forward, that like we have to look at things in a new way, and good content done consistently over time will prove to have better results. And I think the more you do it, the more you create conversations. Because, like, I own a business, I started my own business this year as a personal life business, like doing what I do for a living and labor and stuff. And the thing is like, I could do the flyer and the website, and I do crawl spaces, the crawl space restoration business. And guess what? I'll be sitting at home with no exposure and nobody calling me. I got to go pound the pavement. I got to go do some marketing. I got to go meet some people, shake some hands, and create some relationships. And I think it's one of those things you have to remember, that you got to put yourself out there. And unfortunately, that's the same way with music. And music is the most relationship-based business out there, industry. It's really all about who you know, not what you know. Justin Havoc says, spot on, streaming is kind of the same way. Yeah, like, the reality is that, like, if you're doing same thing with, like, it's Twitch, if you're streaming, I think you're referring to like streaming, like YouTube streaming or Twitch. If you're referring to that, then yes, that's the same way. You got to go out there, meet people, connect, and share subs, or get in Discords and stuff like that. And it is a lot. You can get option paralysis with doing this these days. But I think if you have a team,
even collabing with people, I mean, it's all about networking. It's all about networking. That's why I don't know if you were around for it or not. That's why I do the Christmas episodes. That's why I do ladies' night, or I do, what do you call it, open discussion night. Yeah, it's for me, but it's mainly for other bands as well. So if you never met, say, Mindy Jackson from Dying Oath, or Jill from Forever May Fall, or Raven Black, or this one or that one, and they have room for an opener in your city, they've met you and maybe became friends with you because of, say, this platform. Like people,
It's amazing.
but like people don't realize. Well, why do you always have? Yeah, I do have sometimes always the same. So not all, but same. Some of the same bands, but I bring other bands on there as well. So if you're playing in New Jersey, hopefully eventually some of you guys are. Like I want to. I haven't seen the majority of you guys yet. The only ones I got the pleasure of meeting is the Plains and Nelvite, but yeah, like, well, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing to understand that, like, again, a high tide raises all ships. And for you to win doesn't mean everyone else has to lose. And it goes to anybody. So, like, if we all just, I mean, I say that not as someone, and I don't want people to think that I'm trying to be the big old judging guy on the internet. And it's really because I screwed up for 10 years doing this. Like, I learned the hard way that it's really about you serve what serves you, and you cultivate the culture and you feed the community. And if you don't, then you're not going to reap any sort of success and support. And I've screwed up with that hardcore. I'm not saying this because I got it right. I'm saying that I got it wrong, and I'm trying to get it right now. I got it wrong. So I really hope that people take this and understand, like, as someone who has failed in this over 10 years and messed it up and missed the mark, please don't miss out. Don't not, support others and collab and meet other people. That's important. These days, without it, like, it's really all about opportunity and relationship. Like, I still get it. There's still people out there to this day that are like, yeah, don't do anything with Rob. And it's like, I'm not the same person I was in 2017. So unfortunately, I made that mistake. But if I could change now and do better moving forward and start connecting with people, they'll know that, oh yeah, Rob's pretty cool now at 31, not 26 when he was screwing up all over, Richmond, Virginia and whatnot. Like, we all live and learn, and we all try to grow. But the reality is, as long as we keep moving forward and be willing to admit to our faults and take ownership and be trying our very best to just improve, like, I want to see people rise. I want to see Concert Junkies do big things. I want to see Dying O do things, Stable Illusion, Forever May Fall. New single in 2 weeks, by the way. I'm really stoked for that. I was jamming some Forever May Fall yesterday. It was really cool. Really like the song Undertow a lot. That's a hook. Anywho. I think I said Dying O a billion times. I'm pretty sure they're probably getting tired of me saying their name, but Raven Black or Nailbite, like you said, or just anybody else out there. I can name hundreds of bands, and that's just like a tiny iceberg. 100 bands. That's like, I think my scene where I come from has like 100 bands in one city, much less the whole state. There's probably 10,000 local bands in the metal genre, I'm sure. And maybe that's under that it really is, but definitely something to consider, that if we set aside our differences and try to have an open and honest conversation, and just, even if someone's like, I heard something from this one dude about you, and just be like, are you really like that? And if you're real, then you say, yeah, I screwed up back then, but I'm not that person. And maybe like, hey, we all make mistakes, and we're trying to help everybody grow together. And that's what I want. At least for me. And maybe I'm just like, and I think like for me, like a large part of this EP, even though it's been done for a long time and the music's been written for a long time, every song has features from friends and people that, not only just friends, but people that also inspired me and motivated me. And I didn't even give them lyrics. They wrote their own lyrics to their own music, and I just allowed them to share their heart and what they wanted to do. And I love it. I mean, my first band's EP had 3 vocalists and a flute player on it. That's 4 features. That was unheard of in my area in 2011, 2013. Like, that was unheard of, to have your friends on there versus, everyone was trying to get a big band on there, and, I did it too. And we all do it because we love connecting with our favorite bands and artists. But I was having like these features. Chris Bornstorff, he's a friend. I've seen him perform at houses. Jacob Porter, I practiced with him for months in a garage and played on shared stage with him. And even if I said my other features from the other singles, By Faith, Nick West is my best friend. We go to concerts to this day, and he was my roommate. Nathan and Noah Nathan Gaskin, Noah Schaefer. I was going to their shows at churches and stuff like that back in the day in small venues. Like I can go on and on how these are people that are friends that were in other bands that I supported and love and still support. And they're not doing music anymore. I think just about everybody except for State of Illusion, Jacob Porter, is still doing music, if I can be fair. But it's still the fact that I wanted to collab with other people and get their message out and have fun. So I think like it's a lot of fun. And Justin Hayes says, Havoc, sorry, small on the screen here. Justin Havoc says it's true. So yeah, I don't want to talk your ear off, but hopefully this gives anybody that listens to his past, present, future. I hope y'all get some context and like think about this, give y'all something to think about, because for me, if I'm going to do this with you or anybody else, I want to give back something. And I'm not rich, so I can't like just give everybody a bunch of money and make their life better so they can buy new gear and get on shows or something. I realistically can't, but I can inspire. I can be vulnerable and transparent and real and just talk about my experience, and maybe you can sit back and be like, he's entertaining me, he's telling me where about his past, and maybe I can learn something from him. And if someone walks away from this conversation, one person walks away from the conversation and says, you know what, I could apply some of that. That was inspiring. That motivated me. Then I did my job. Nothing else matters. Go listen to the music if you want. Don't care.
If you wrote yourself a letter at 8 years old, would you be proud of yourself today, as of right now?
If I wrote myself a letter at 8 years old?
Let me rephrase that. Would your 8-year-old self be proud of you today? It didn't come out right the first time, sorry.
No, you're fine. I just, I'll be honest. I don't know why. It might be just the signal here. I'm in a makeshift Econo Lodge where I'm out of town and working. So the internet might be shoddy. So if it's bad on my end, I'm sorry. I have like one bar here signal wise. Luckily I have Wi-Fi or else this wouldn't be happening. So hopefully this is coming through. If not, I'm sorry. I've heard that these help a little bit. So that's why I got them. That's a very weird question, because 8-year-old me I think 8-year-old me, and I don't want to get too much into it. If anyone, to answer this question, kind of like not too personal, but also personal, go listen to the Mental Health Week Fridays. I think it was April 14th with the Melody Mixes podcast. I think there'll be people, I think there's, sorry, let me answer this question real quick. I heard you mention Richmond. I'm in NC. Yeah, okay. So I went Richmond, Virginia. I used to live in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm now living at the outskirts of North Carolina, near Greensboro. So yeah, not the same area, but thanks for asking. But to finish your question, Rob, I didn't really have the best upbringing, and I didn't really have like dreams or goals, aspirations of my life. I went through a lot of trauma, and I was lucky to survive the next day. So if you told me what 8-year-old me be lucky to be alive. That's the only thing I would be saying right now. Like,
okay.
And would I be proud of myself? No. But would I be like, I would be looking at like, you made it? You're alive? How? That would be literally the response. Sorry if that was a little dark.
No, I mean,
I'm going to get real on here, just for the record. Like, you can ask, but it's going to get real, because honestly, there's no reason to, like, on the internet, anybody can be what they want to be. They can call themselves Joe Bob Tinkerton and troll everybody in America. Yeah. You can be whatever you want. I don't want to be that person. I'm going to be real. I'm going to talk like this on here, as I would with Melanie, as I would with Kevin, as I would with Mike, and as I would in person. So you're going to get the same version of me. And, I wasn't that way for a long time. And I realized, like, life's too short. Just be yourself.
So a fun question here.
Cool.
If you could be any object in the world, what would you be?
object. I would be a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could destroy a guitar and look like a rock star. You can create music. I mean, I love creating music. It's something internal. It's something of my body and my soul that has to come out. So I use a guitar. Like the guitar is my voice and my being. It's an extension of me. So, you know, I would be a guitar.
Any specific type?
No. I would, if I had to be real, if I could be like in a dream situation, I would just be a guitar that morphs to anything. That like one day I'm a metal guitar player, like, and you know, I'm playing drop G in a 7-string and writing chug riffs, and then I go to flamenco guitar and play like that flamenco guitar, and then classical. I would just be an ever versatile, ever moving guitar that makes music as I desire, as I feel in the moment. That way I have no bars and limitations to what I create.
Okay.
What would you be? Any object in the world.
A pillow.
Why?
I will always get head.
Okay, I had a feeling you were going to say that.
I mean, I'm being real. Like,
I should have known that, but I was not ready for that. Sorry. You're going to make a great centerfold for Mother Nix's magazine.
is that
Sorry.
really going to happen? I'm down. It's really going to happen.
I'll pay for it to happen. Melanie, speak for yourself. All right.
I mean,
All right, I got
that's really going to happen. Give me about a year.
All right. Here's one.
I'll start the gym tomorrow. Give me 6 months. Let's go. Christmas time. Let's go.
We should put you as a centerfold as like metal Santa. And
We can do that now. Let's go. I'll even bust out my acoustic for that day. It's sitting in the closet,
Awesome.
just sitting there.
That would be awesome. So I would want a picture of a sled, and it would be you in the middle as Metal Santa, and that band, God forbid, is playing metal around you. Just like the whole band is just in the sled.
I mean,
like,
we could make that happen. There are green screens and whatnot. And
I hope God, nobody from God forbid ever hears this. They don't even have to be dressed up. They just
She was in here earlier. So
Oh my
never
gosh.
know. But I mean, it could happen. I'm normally up for anything, honestly. You know.
All right. So I can already imagine it right now. Like I just want hologram, or somehow we teleport Hellfest 2002, God forbid, to be right next to you, and you're giving everybody Christmas gifts that in the form of God forbid merch.
I do play Santa every year, but yeah, I could make that happen. You know, like
I hope someone's entertained by this. All right.
I mean, honestly, we could make that happen. Just
All right. I got something for you.
all right.
Now we're talking about bands.
Mhm.
We're going to do, I will give you the option of dual vocalists, but it has to be a front woman, front man. Or it could be a 5-piece band where it's a front woman or front man. Whatever you want to choose. Everyone's welcome to the party.
Okay.
Make yourself a 5-piece band. Traditional, drums, bassist, guitarist. We're going to do a rhythm guitarist and lead guitarist, even though some bands are like both, and then a vocalist. Go.
This one's really freaking hard because I have so many people in the scene.
It could be anybody. I mean, okay, how about this? We're going to do 2 bands.
Okay.
One's like national level band,
Oh,
like
okay.
national musicians, and it could be dead or alive too.
Okay.
So they could, and then you have one that's like all your regional friends, whatever.
Okay. Definitely they're not my region, but yes, regional friends. So I'm guessing national. I'm gonna have to say Lejean from Seven Dust
Yes.
and Johnson Davis as vocals and as vocals.
So Jonathan Davis and LeJohn.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, the rule is if you have two vocalists, it has to be a female and a male. Otherwise, it's just one
Okay,
male
so
or one female.
okay, then Johnson Davis and Amy Lee.
Ooh, it'd be almost like redoing that Unplugged they did back in the day.
I loved every minute of that. I have about 2 or 3 copies lying around.
That MTV Unplugged with him was so good.
I might listen to it.
Okay.
I might listen to it when we get off. Honestly, drummer. I'm going to have to say Holly Kramer from Pop Evil.
Oh, cool. That's a name I don't hear often.
Of course, I'll have to have Fieldy.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw Aaron Lewis in there as well.
On guitar.
Yeah.
So we need one rhythm guitar. That's Aaron Lewis. We need a lead guitar player now.
Dave Grohl. I mean, he knows how to
Okay.
do everything.
That's a wild band. That's like some like alternative metal rock fusion, and I'm here for it. We should AI that. We should just like put every member of that band, and that should be a thing now. Like, can enter in these musicians, and what would it sound like as a band? That would be interesting.
Yes, it would.
So you're basically putting Korn, Stillwell, Pop Evil, well, technically putting in Korn twice because you have Fieldy and Jonathan, right? So you're technically putting, well, actually, let's just go ahead and put, we'll keep John, we'll let Fieldy have Stillwell because he's with him now more than, so we'll do Stillwell, Pop Evil, Korn, Stained, and we're just going to do Stained, not his acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
And, I forgot the other person you mentioned. Oh yeah, Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Foo Fighters. That'll be interesting. It's like that's gonna be. There should be an AI for that, where it's like fusion that and see what comes out. I would love that.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna take my idea too. Okay, now we're gonna go to like local, regional, that kind of level. Not signed or not famous or not national, whatever way you want to put it. Same thing. Either dual vocalist has to be female and male, or just one vocalist.
All right, this is I'm actually gonna swap. I mean, this is actually swapping members here, but I'm gonna go with Nestor from Dying Oath.
Okay.
The female would be Casey from Deadlands.
Okay.
Drummer would be Chip from 55s.
Okay.
Let's throw Colt in there for
Forever May Fall.
Forever May Fall. I'm
Sick
pretty sure
guitar
he could.
player.
Yeah.
Sick guitar player.
Now I'm just trying to think of bassist.
Bassists just don't get enough love, man. I don't get it. Bass is awesome. But you do need another lead guitar player because you only brought up the drummer, the two vocalists, and Cult. So you need another lead guitar player, or what you think is lead guitar player. Or I mean, I guess maybe Cult is good enough to do lead and rhythm. So just go ahead and name another guitar player and bassist.
They're gonna kill me because I cannot think of anybody's names right now because I'm drawing a freaking blank.
Okay.
All
right. You want me to go ahead and do mine, or what you think about it? Or? Okay.
You can do yours because I cannot think of their names right now.
So, I think for me, it would be really, really hard for me to do a duel because there's so many. I feel like certain vocalists do it on their own, but I'm just going to go ahead and say, for a national level, I want Ginger's vocalist Tatiana Shmariuk. I think she's one of my top 3 favorite vocalists currently. She just does underrated. Ginger's underrated. Go listen to Ginger. Don't even listen to me. Just, in fact, delete anything you've heard from me. Just listen to Ginger and Phineas. In fact, you can delete everything I said and just listen to Phineas. No, but seriously, Tatiana, vocalist, only Tatiana. She can do both. Don't at me. Drummers, I would want Gene Hoglan. Tatiana, Gene Hoglan. I want Daniel Gailey from Phineas. I want Evan Brewer on bass. And rhythm guitar, Dino Cazares. Ooh, that'd be so cool. That would be wild. And the funny part about that, I said it like that, is Gene Hoglan was in Fear Factory for a record. So
yes,
it would be, so that would be, I mean, it would be really hard for me to, like, Gene Hoglan's really good. I wouldn't say he's the best drummer. Actually, take that back. I want Chris Turner. That would be a super awesome modern metal band because Fear Factory's got, we got the right hand of Fear Factory. We've got the shredding of Daniel Gailey. We've got the shred lord bassist, Evan Brewer. We've got Chris Turner, who's just a machine, and the Tatiana of the Beast. Like, that's a super group. That is, I want to AI that band. Okay, so now regional. I feel like I want to be selfish and put myself in this, but for the sake of the conversation, I'm not. Because you didn't put yourself in any of those bands, so I don't feel like it's fair for me to put myself.
Play shit. Why would I?
Tambourine, bro. Just say.
I play.
Just throw
I
a left.
A fucking cowbell. Like, I don't really. I do behind
Don't fear the
shit, bro.
Don't fear the Reaper. Come on now.
I mean, I could.
That's okay. It's okay. You could just You could just left field that, like, you know what? I'm playing capo on every song. Breakdown. Ding, ding, ding. No. Okay. So locally, I'm just gonna go. I hate even using the term local because to me that's just coming from the local scene. I feel like it's become a derogatory term because it's not giving credit to the artists that we know personally. But for the sake of this conversation, we'll just say, like, the artists we know personally. So, I would love to hear. I think I would love to hear Lauren Babick, Red Hand Denial. Then they're on management, but I don't think they're on a label. I'm not sure. So Lauren and Jacob Porter duo.
Okay.
Would love to hear that. So State of Illusion. You're like, and Lauren can do the singing and screaming, and she can do both. So she can, like, harmonize with Jacob, and that would sound amazing. And then she can do screaming on screaming parts because Jacob doesn't scream. He has, like, harsh yell singing, but not like that pitch singing, but not necessarily screaming per se. I want Hogan from Dying Oath and Cardinal Endeavor doing. He's an amazing drummer. I think he just does it right. I think he just holds down the metal sound right. Bass player Ian Webster, Let the Day Perish. And then I will go ahead and put Brian Cray, who is Croesus, on guitar. I think the other guitar player I would put on there. There's a lot of guitar players. So, I don't know. Got it. So I would want Brian Cray on rhythm guitar and Dylan Edwards of Fellowship on lead guitar, because that guy is like, he's like virtuoso Paul Gilbert. He's like new age Paul Gilbert. If you know who Paul Gilbert is, Racer X, he's like the new 21st century version. I swear, he shreds like the best of them. He can play like John Petrucci. He's close to Tosin Abasi level. Like that would be it. So yeah, Hogan on drums, Ian Webster, Let the Day Perish on bass, Dylan Edwards from Fellowship on lead guitar, Brian Croesus on rhythm guitar. And it's funny because he plays bass, but I know he can play guitar really well. So Lauren Babick and Jacob Porter. Lauren Babick, Redheaded Denial, Jacob Porter, Safe Illusion, Hogan, Dying Oath, and Cardinal Endeavor. So just make sure all the bands get announced so we give them a little credit. I hope this is a fun conversation for everybody, because if not, I'll be sad. But yeah, how do you feel?
No, it's been fun. Actually, before we actually wrap this up for tonight,
Yeah.
do you have any anything you would like to say to, per se, well, we said we don't like fans, but followers, or
Yeah, I mean,
almost.
yeah, obviously. I mean, and don't take when I say that I don't like saying that, because I want to give the people more credit than they deserve. And that's kind of my whole rant. Like, what I could have said from 30 minutes of ranting to I could say in a sentence is like, everybody that loves and supports artists of all sizes, big, small, local, any genre, you deserve more credit, because you all make this journey, this expensive endeavor, these sacrifices we make possible. So that's where I'm going to start off on this. Like, to everyone, just like, y'all make this possible, y'all make it worth it, because really, like, if we broke down what we do as artists, every artist, and I know that anyone who hears this, past, present, future, can agree to me, like, the thousands of hours, the losses of sleep, the thousands of dollars we spend on gear, the practicing, the hoping, the risk we take from playing live and, performing and, being vulnerable to put ourselves out there, because that's what it is. Like, it's energy exchange. Being a musician and that performs, you're exchanging energy. Like, if you've got one fan out there that just never met you before, and he's like rocking out, you have an energy exchange with that person. I remember one of my friends in a band called Divisive, he was telling me about, they played this one show that I was at, and there was like 5 people there, and he was so mad. He was like, I'm over this. I don't want to ever play this place ever again. But I'm like, yo, I love this stuff. And I talked to him a little bit online, and I'm like moshing. I'm like, this stuff is hard. And he was like, you ain't hard enough for me to care. And it made him feel good. At least he said that. If he didn't mean it, I don't know. But he said that at least to me. And I was like, that's what I want. I want people to feel good about themselves for being a fan, a follower, a supporter of the artists you check out. So obviously, first and foremost, thank you to all of you. Second, obviously, the multiple conversations we've had and the times I've been on here with you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rob, for making this happen. I really do hope that people, these conversations we had today, some of the heated topics, I feel like we might have touched into some areas. I really do hope the bands, anyone that checks us out later, can, really reciprocate the love and support you give to others. And, again, a high tide raises all ships. So they shout you out more, you shout me out more, you shout them out more. We could all slowly rise together. And I really do hope that we've shout out a bunch of bands, and the other thing is like when we talked about the bands we love, we're showing them some level of love and honor with like making up these like fictional bands. Like we love these artists and bands, so everyone that we shout out before. I mean, I don't. We could spend another 30 minutes trying to shout out everybody we know, and I know. I mean, just go back on the YouTube of your channel and just look at how many artists have been on your channel. Like that alone shows how you try to put yourself out there to connect with other artists. So like I encourage everybody to go back and check out some conversations. Obviously I'm going to shout out you. Shout out, like, if you don't believe me, go back to the other videos. I've shout you out, so because I care about what you do. I care about Melanie, what she does with the Nix's podcast, Mike Stover, what she does with Good Fight Music, and Stover Look Podcast.
Speaking of Melanie, you were just in her magazine, right?
Yes. So I guess it's the July edition of the Nix's magazine. Go check out Nix's podcast, Melanie Nix, on Facebook. Go check also on Spotify for all the interviews she does for bands and stuff. I encourage you to go look up the Nix's magazine, and she was in there. You were in there as well, too. So Rob and Rob were on there. So it's a good thing that we meet together. I did an interview with her last week. So if you want to check that out, again, I shouted you out on that. So, all the love all around. So I want to say, give that a chance. Check out this. I know she's working on some other ones. I don't want to say too much that we're not ready to say yet and put things out there. But I think, like, hopefully we can all team it together and make this a little bit bigger or a little more involved, or maybe some exclusive stuff. That's all I can say. But, give that all a shout, all a look, some views. Anybody that's been on here and anyone that sees this past, present, future, to check that out as well. And last but not least, I want to thank, again, as I've said it a bunch of times, Jacob Porter of State of Illusion. I've told my story about how I connected with them and how I knew them from the article, as well as the magazine, from Nexus Magazine, as well as other podcasts. So if you want to hear more about that, check those out. But I want to say thank you to Jacob Porter of State of Illusion. Please go check them out on their 20-year anniversary tour with Cold. And please go check out Chris Bernstorff. You can stream his stuff on Spotify and iTunes. Same thing with State of Illusion as well. You can check them all out on those places. I know that State of Illusion has a bunch of merch. I have one of the shirts. I think they have flags. Check them out. Support. They've got some shows coming up. If you're in the South Carolina area, or you're going to any of their dates on the 2-week run in the first 2 weeks of September, go check out their tour with Cold and check them out. And if you see them, tell them like, hey, I heard you from Life Renewed or something like that. And Chris Bernstorff, I want to shout it out because, like, he's in Michigan. He does spoken word. He's performed in places like Audio Feed. He does he did the tour, do with his poetry. Go check him out on Bandcamp. Everything's for free there. Spotify, you can stream everything. And if you really want his books, where he does all his writings, he has books that he makes from all his poetry. And surprisingly enough, if you actually get that book, one of the 2 unreleased ones, the poems that he wrote, the Life Renewed feature, is in there. So you'll get to kind of have a piece of history with him, because he wrote this for me 8 years ago and did this for me 8 years ago, did this feature. So you'll see a little bit of that in history and with him. So you kind of comes full circle, and I would say he says free. He told me it's free. Go donate. Bandcamp, you can donate. Tomorrow is Bandcamp day. So anyone that's on here, go stream around on Bandcamp. I'm on Bandcamp. I have 3 singles on Bandcamp, which is the Ground Zero, the newest one, Vision Revision, and Disconnect Reconnect. I don't have the first one up there yet. I encourage you all, like, if you want to listen to it, you want to download it there for free, or you can pay what you want. I encourage you to pay if State of Illusion's on there. Please download. Don't take that when you book. I'm going to donate $10. It's a really unique offering from Life Renewed, because I'm known for the metal and rock genre, and this is like just indie ambient with poetry and rock vocals. Like, I've never heard anything like this in a recorded format. I've seen it live, but I've never seen it recorded. So if anyone has ever heard this, let me know. I would love to hear it, but I haven't heard it. And I'm not trying to make it out like I'm better than anybody else. It's just I haven't heard it done, and maybe it wasn't done in that time back 2015, but I haven't seen it. So give them both support. This song wouldn't be what it is without them. Really, honestly, I mean, I recorded it and mixed it and all that good stuff, but really, like, if they didn't do their parts, this would just be some more music stuck on my computer that will never see the light of day. So it's only possible because of them. So thank you to everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed what you've heard. I hope people get some context to how I think and what I feel, and maybe some insight on stuff with bands. And if anyone wants to reach out to me, I'm Rob Volkov, VOLKOV. As you can see, reach out to me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Renewing Music Rob. Life Renewed as well. Message me if you have any. You can, cuss me out, tell me I'm garbage, say you love the song, you want something free, you want to know how to record, you want a collab, whatever it is. Reach out to me. I'm an open book. If you're struggling with your mental health, I encourage you, and to be the check out my band guy. But if anyone struggles with mental health, I have a song that kind of shares my story with suicide attempts. And so if you feel struggling with your mental health, the song's called Vision Revision. It's on YouTube. The video, you can see it and streaming everywhere. So I put that out there because I want people to feel like they're not alone and can feel like, hey, someone knows their struggle or somewhat what the struggle is. So I care about people. And if I get another chance to do this music thing, I'm going to do it right, or at least to the best I can. And, and that means putting the friendships and relationships that I can make on platforms first. Music is just difficult to get in all of you. Music's first in my life individually, but when it comes to me putting out to the world, the people come first. So the music is a chance. Like, you and I met because of music. So if it wasn't for me putting out music, I wouldn't get to know you. And we've had some amazing talks and we connect on stuff. So hopefully this won't be the last one. And I hope people maybe ask me back or something. That'd be great. But, at the very least, support everybody that we've all talked about all night. We keep gassing everybody up because we all love them and we support them. So, spare $1, get a merch, go to a show that they're playing. Nailbite, Dying Oath, State of Illusion, Chris Bornstorff, Sepsis, Six Scars, and the list can go on. So please take your time, support somebody, tell them that you heard about them from this podcast, from this YouTube channel, and just, support all the people all the social media outlets, because that's going to be the way we raise this community together for everyone could achieve the goals and dreams. Thank you. I think I've said pretty much everything.
So just as a reminder, this is on Facebook, Concert Junkies Rob and John, YouTube, Concert Junkies Rob and John, Twitch is just Concert Rob because it wouldn't let me finish what I was typing. And just a reminder, I am now on Cameo, so if you want season's greetings, me to tell somebody off or whatever you may need, look under Cameo and type in Robert M. Rosenthal, and when I see it, you'll get a video right back.
Support Rob.
If you're not subscribed, please do, and if you want to support the channel, Cash App is down here. And have a great night, guys.